Good morning and good afternoon. My name is Garton. I'm a Presidential Management Fellow at the NCI Center for Global Health, and I'm presenting a longitudinal analysis of 10 years of U.S. National Cancer Institute funding in Africa. In recognition of CGH's 10th anniversary this year, we analyzed 10 years of NCI-funded research and training awards with collaborators at institutions in Africa to identify trends and gaps within the grant portfolio and shed light on existing and potential collaborations. To do this, we used internal NIH databases to identify NCI-funded extramural grants from 2011 to 2020 with collaborators in Africa, categorized the awards based on cancer site and institutional data, and processed the information in Python. In those 10 years, we found 216 extramural grants with collaborators in Africa, including 12 direct awards to African institutions. These awards were led by PIs at 95 institutions and included 449 collaborators across 36 African countries. Grants covered a total of 44 cancer sites, with many awards focusing on research into multiple cancer sites. The graph on the left shows the top 10 cancer sites researched, and you'll note the high prevalence of AIDS-related malignancies. The map on the right shows the cancer with the highest mortality rate in each African country. So we can see a pretty good alignment between the research focus and the burden of disease in Africa. In this table, we can see the top 10 PI institutions out of the 95 total institutions in charge of these grants. The 5 PI institutions in the red box account for a quarter of all awards, showing us that research is highly concentrated in just a few places. We see similar concentrations in the collaborating institutions and countries. Most awards had multiple collaborating institutions, often across several countries, both in Africa and other international locations outside the US. The majority of the African collaborators were concentrated in South Africa, Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, and Nigeria. And shown on the map in gray are the 21 African countries that were not represented on any awards. In looking at the individual institutions, here we can see the 10 institutions on the most awards, with a similar concentration to the map we just saw. There were 326 institutions that were collaborators on just a single award. When we look at these grants over time, we see a fairly steady increase in the number of active awards every year since 2011. But the picture becomes a bit more complex when we look at the starting year of these awards, going back to 1992. Again, we see fairly steady growth, but a few outliers. For example, in 1997, we see 18 total awards started, and this was because the NCI began co-funding Center for AIDS Research that year, leading to 9 additional awards. In addition, in 2010, we see 16 awards, and this is because of the 9 D43 supplements to ongoing HIV training projects that the NCI funded beginning that year. CGH was founded in 2011, and we see a steady and notable increase in awards with African collaborators since that year. Lastly, we'll take a quick peek at an initial network analysis based on this data. The blue dots in these graphics are PI institutions, and the pink dots are African institutions. So a tighter image indicates more interrelations between institutions, and we can see that this has tightened up in the past decade. We can also see a lot of repeat and shared collaborations. A future deep dive into this analysis can identify areas of duplication and potential collaboration between both African and US institutions. In conclusion, the study shows us that NCI has supported a broad portfolio of research with collaborators at African institutions in the past decade. We look forward to further analysis of NIH intramural research, non-NIH funded research, and network analyses to provide a more comprehensive picture of oncology research in Africa. And this is backed by CGH's newly published strategic plan, which aims to increase the portfolio of NCI extramural funding involving LMIC collaborators with a focus on equity in global cancer research. Thank you for listening, and please do reach out at the email address shown here with questions or comments.